Hey and welcome. I have 3 DIYs for you that are Easter decor, and they ended up being bunny inspired. I'm not sure why, it just did. But they all turned out so cute, you don't want to miss them. And this video is also a part of a playlist that I host myself with Lon at Living Life with Lon called Refurbished Love for Easter. And I'll have more information on that playlist later on in the video. So I'm sorry I don't have footage from the thrift store, but I have enough stuff in my stash that I didn't have to even go. So this is just an old candle jar, and I cleaned it out really well and prepared it. And this is from the Dollar Tree, a little bunny ornament that are like a little kit for kids to paint. So I took the little hook or loop on the top because it looked funny, and it's easy to break, so just be careful it doesn't shatter the whole bunny, and just take that part off and sand it. So I ended up using hot glue because I didn't have any super glue or anything, but it still ended up working. And I had these cute little eggs that I bought on Amazon that I added to it because the paw needed something under it. So here is that baking soda mixture with chalk paint, and I mixed it up to be pretty thick. I'm just covering the whole bunny, the lid, everything. And I like the texture of it, and I wanted it to be really thick textured, so I'm pouncing on it to give it more texture. And then of course I did the whole bottom as well, covered that really well, and then later I did more texture on a second coat. And that takes not very long to dry, so you can work with it easily. So now it's all dry. I found this cute little Easter print online, and it was just really cute, and I thought it would be perfect for this. So I rounded the edges. I just printed it on regular paper on a inkjet printer, and now I'm just Mod Podging the back of it to stick on to the front of the jar. And then you want to kind of work from the middle outward so that you can get all the bubbles and creases out and kind of make sure it's smooth. And then just covering the top with Mod Podge, and you can use your fingers once you have it wet with the Mod Podge to kind of manipulate the paper so it flattens out better. And one thing I should have done with it is made sure to maybe spray it with some clear before I started messing with the Mod Podge, because it smeared out to the outer side. But that actually worked to my benefit because I wanted to distress it anyway. So now I'm using the antiquing wax all over the bunny and the lid, putting it on and wiping it off. You can use a little water, a little wet rag to kind of smear it a little bit more. And see how that edge looked? So I'm just helping it out more with some more of that antiquing wax. And I did it all the way around so it blended really well. And now I'm just putting the plastic rim on that lid so it can suction to the jar. So I thought it needed something around the rim of it. So I have this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and just cutting it down so that it fits around the rim of it. And it looked too big, I think, so I trimmed it down. And it kind of reminded me of a fence, which was kind of silly, but I think it turned out great. Refurbished Love for Easter is an open playlist collaboration that is hosted by myself and Lon at Living Life with Lon. We are so happy to have all of the creators that joined us for this playlist, and we hope that you will check out their videos, and the link for the playlist will be in the description down below. I will also have Lon's link to her channel as well. And please subscribe to each and every one of our channels. That helps us out a lot. Now let's get back to the DIYs. This next DIY it's super cute how it is. It's a little bunny that I picked up at the thrift store for 75 cents. And here I'm just taking off the little screws that are holding the plexiglass on. And see that there was a hole there for, I guess it's a candy dispenser that either they bought it or made it, I don't know. But just taking and removing all the screws so I can go and clean the wood as well as the plexiglass separately. So now I don't want the poor little thing's eyes, so I popped its eyeballs out. Sorry. They were scratched up pretty bad and just didn't look good. So I'm using some of this putty and putting on, letting it dry to cover those holes and make it even. So then just sanding it down so that it's flush as I could get it. And I'm giving it a good coat of chalk paint, white chalk paint. And I only gave it one because I'm distressing it and want some of that wood to come through. So here it is, all painted white, and it already looks so pretty. And I went to my silhouette and cut out a stencil of these little leafy branches, and I thought it would look really pretty on this. So that's what I'm doing here, is just placing it. So then I'm just taking some black chalk paint and pouncing on it to give it the design I'm looking for. And my favorite part is taking off the stencil to reveal how pretty it looks. And those little pieces inside of the stencil to make it more dimensional, I guess, to see the actual leaf. Taking those off. And look how pretty. So then just move the stencil, a different stencil, over to the side of the bunny in the back. And here's those little parts I'm talking about. Just putting the center of those leaves in there. And doing the same thing with the chalk paint. And again, look how pretty. And the good thing is I got some paint there on the side, and the good thing is you can use a little sandpaper and that chalk, the black chalk paint, comes right off. You don't have to repaint anything. See? It looks really good. So now, again, another stencil on the side, on the front paws. And here I'm taking it off to see how pretty it is. And I reused that last one on the tail. And check it out. I love it. It turned out so really pretty. Touch up a little bit here and there with some of that chalk paint. So now I'm sanding down to distress it. And that's why I only did one coat, because it will sand down really easily. And just got all around the edges. So now it's time to replace that plexiglass. I'm doing the back first. And here, now that I'm in the front, before I put the plexiglass, I'm putting in some of that reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree. Our Dollar Tree actually had some this time, so I grabbed a few bags. And it's so pretty for this. And then I bought some of these little tiny robin eggs on Amazon, and I thought that would look really cute inside of there. It needed few extra. See, look how cute. So now you have to just hold it so that you could put the plexiglass back on and just covering it back up. I love this one. It's so like high-end, classy looking. I just love it. Turned out so adorable. For this next project, this little plaque I picked up, I think I spent 75 cents, not $1, on them, and a leftover dowel that I had from another project. And I found this bunny. It's a free printout online, and I'll have that link down below. But I used it as a template, and I actually had to enlarge it onto my silhouette and use it with the vinyl in order to have a pattern big enough for what I want to do for it on this project. And of course I'm using that drop cloth that I still have a ton left on. $8 or $9 at Harbor Freight. You will want to get some for all your crafting. It's amazing. So I just cut it out like a pattern, and now I'm just sanding down the wood because it's shiny and I wanted the chalk to stick to it. So I'm trying to kind of not, 100% get that off, but I wanted to rough it up so it would stick, as well as the glue on this. So I'm just using that Gorilla wood glue to glue the two pieces together again. And I love Gorilla glue, it's just so wonderful. So now this Chalk Couture stencil, or transfer, yes, that I have worked perfect for this design. I love this. So I just put it on the back legs there, and just doing black on it, and it turns out so pretty. I love it. Love these little leaves. So now I finally got my hands on some Waverly Celery chalk paint. I was so excited. I'm an ambassador for Plaid Company, and they sent me a shipment with a bunch of beautiful colors, and this was one of my favorites that I've been wanting. So I love it, and it turned out so pretty with this project. So again, I only gave it one coat, and as it dried, it kind of showed some of the wood distressed already through it, so I just kept it the way it was and just gave it all one good coat. And here you can see the color, how it dried. It's just so pretty. And I'm just sanding down the edges to give it that distressed look, and it distressed just beautifully. I'm going to use this color more this year. So just wiping it all down, and now I'm gluing another one of those bunnies. I already prepared the top part and gluing that on the top and covering it with the same celery paint. This is one of my favorite Easter projects. I can't wait for you to see it. It turned out so pretty. So now I'm using some of that antiquing wax just to put in the grooves here and there, and then wiping it off so it looks kind of rustic like the rest of it. And I made a little mistake there. So I didn't show this, but I had already did the one side stencil, and now I'm doing the other to match the leg on the bunny. Just looks so pretty. There we go. See how pretty? So now I'm gluing the two pieces that I cut out from that, not burlap, the drop cloth. And of course I forgot to tell you to cut two pieces because we're going to make like a pillow type thing. So just getting that glue on and lining it up. And then as you glue, let it dry and then start stuffing in a section at a time. And I was using Surebonder fabric glue, but I don't like it. It didn't work very good, so I went back to my Gorilla hot glue that's multi-use, and just gluing the rest of it down as I go and stuffing as I go. And I'm not gonna lie, this was a little bit, I don't know, time consuming, but it did turn out to be worth it to me. I just really love it. So where I want to put it is like right below there, and so I was just measuring where I want it and getting the glue on it so that it will stick to the wood. And again, be very careful with hot glue, especially if you have a high temperature one. You can burn yourself easily with them. So just gluing the other side together. And then stuffing as I went. So what I did here is I put some stuffing on the front of each of the dowels, each side of the dowel, so that you would see more of a poofy instead of the dowel, you know what I mean? And it was a little complicated to do it on camera for you to see and for me to hold it right. Sorry, it's a little off the camera there. So then we're just gluing the bottom down like I did the top to the dowel. And getting those pieces together so I can start stuffing that side. Let's get that tail in there. Getting the last little bit here. Making sure it's, you know, firm and will hold up. And there it is. I love it. It just turned out so beautiful. Let me know in the comments what you think. So tell me in the comments below which was your favorite. I think this one here is my most favorite. It just turned out so pretty, and I just want you to know that there's all kinds of things you can do with those thrift store finds. If you see something that doesn't look so great, you can always change it up. Make sure to check out that playlist link down below and subscribe to everyone's channel, as well as like and comment on their videos. It helps us all out so much, and we appreciate you. If you're coming over from the playlist, welcome, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you all so much, and have a great day.